What is going on, guys? We are back here for another video today, and this video is going to be predicting the 2020-2021 NFL season. Now, basically, let me tell you how this is going to work. I have this thing through playoffpredictors.com where I basically choose the winner of each game. I can, for example, the Raiders-Panthers, I can choose the winner, I can choose that. And as you can see on the right-hand side here and the left-hand side, left is the AFC and the right is the NFC. You can see the divisions will update. And you can also choose a tie if you really think that's going to happen. Either way, I'm not going to show you what I picked for that. But basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go week by week and like see how, I don't know if you guys can see, but up here, right up here, where it says week 1, I can then click on that and choose for all the weeks. And so what I can do is then I can choose all the way to the end of the regular season. And then, at the end of the regular season, I'm going to take the standings that I predict for all 32 NFL teams, load them into a spreadsheet, and then from there, I am going to then predict the winners of each game in the playoffs, plus other things such as MVP, offensive, defensive, all those type of player of the years. And then I'm going to do a few things for the Packers. So we're just predicting the 2020-2021 NFL season. So this part I'm not going to walk you through as I pick every single game. So I'm just going to put this in a quick 1 or 2 minute time lapse. So I will see you then.
So as you can see here, I'm just doing the time lapse for me choosing all the teams. Just so you know, if you're wondering what the followers count 3 in the bottom right hand corner means, this is just I'm using OBS to record this, and OBS is what I use also for my Twitch. And whenever I do my Twitch recordings with my browser, my followers count shows up there. So that's why it's showing up now. I didn't delete it. But either way, you can see me doing this. The reason that I'm actually showing you my predictions is that if you're wondering how a certain team got a record, you can always go back to this. But either way, that was a quick time lapse, and that's the end of it.
So now you can see on the screen the actual standings of the teams after I went to that time lapse. The only reason I put that time lapse is so that you can see proof of how I got these ratings. So real quick here, if you're wondering why this bottom part of the screen is all whited out, it's because you can't see it yet. But you'll see it eventually. Either way, just a quick thing is, wow, I already have a typo. That's incredible. Okay, the green color, which means that they're a division winner, and so there'll be 8 of them. Blue color means they're a wild card berth. With the new rule this year, there's going to be 3 in each conference, so a total of 6, so there's 7 seeds. The first seed in a conference is going to be that asterisk, and you also get to buy. There's only 1 team to buy. And then the red color means the worst in conference. So we're going to go division by division and just say a few things. Start with the AFC here. We can see the Ravens once again take this division pretty easily here, going 12-4. And they're going to end up grabbing that number. I'm not going to tell you what seed. It's tied up the Texans, but I'm not going to tell you which one, but you'll figure it out. Either way, Steelers, Bengals, Browns, I'll trail them. They're all pretty low, actually, which I did not expect. Now, as I was doing my predictions and choosing the teams, I was not looking at the standings while doing it, so I have no idea how the teams were until the end. Because if I was looking at the standings while doing it, I actually blacked it out. I may not have blacked it out in the recording. But if I was looking at the standings while doing it, I'd be like, oh, this doesn't make sense, so I'd purposely make a team lose. But I'm actually kind of surprised. I don't expect any of these 3 teams to be good, but this big of a difference, 8 games, is kind of huge. Moving on to the next division, without Tom Brady, obviously the Patriots will not be as good, and the Bills will take that division, which makes sense. They have a young, strong team, especially with that good defense. They do only win by 1 game, because the Patriots still have lots of talent, and the Patriots still get that wild card berth, and then the Dolphins get an improvement, and the Jets, not much improvement for you. But you don't get the worst in the conference. Texans will take their division once again, and then the Colts and Titans tie 8-8, and the Colts get into the playoffs being 8-8, which is interesting because this AFC was super close, and the Titans missed out on just tiebreakers. And unfortunately, the Jaguars, they're actually projected by many to be the worst. I don't have them as the worst in the whole league, but they're still going to be the worst in their division. And then here, the Chiefs will get that number 1 seed. Last year was the Ravens, right? Yeah, but I mean, the Chiefs, Super Bowl champs, it's not like any of their players went away. They have all their players back. And yeah, if anything, they'll just be stronger than last season. And then the Raiders, the young team, they have lots of talent. Josh Jacobs, Henry Ruggs III, and a few other players. And, you know, a lot of players can boost them. And I give them that wildcard spot with the Chargers getting 6-10. The Broncos on tiebreakers. If you're wondering how the tiebreakers work, is that site that I did the predictions on. It like does the tiebreakers for you, and according to that, the Broncos do get the worst record in the conference and the worst record in the whole entire NFL by tiebreaker. Now, looking at the NFC North, one thing I will say is I am a Packers fan, but I try to be the least amount of bias as possible. Okay, I'm not going to choose them to win the Super Bowl and all that stuff, make them go 16-0. I am a Packers fan, but it's fine. Okay, I have them winning the division, which makes sense, right? I mean, yeah, other teams can win it, but I have them winning the division here. The Vikings going 9-7. If they were in the AFC, they would have made the playoffs, but in the NFC, you got to be better than 9-7 to make it. Actually, not for the Cowboys, but Vikings don't make it, and the Lions continue their struggles, and the Bears drop a lot. And just so you know, actually, if you're wondering, oh, the Bears are so low because you just don't like the Bears because you're a Packers fan. Actually, no. The Bears I actually like more than the Lions and the Vikings. The Vikings are my least favorite team. In fact, the Bears are probably like my 20th favorite team, so none of that stuff. I just don't think they're going to be good this year. Moving on to the East, the Eagles will take the division surprisingly. They have some good talent. It's just about putting that all together, and this could be the year for them. Cowboys, okay, yeah, this is probably disappointing, but that's what I have them at. But they're still in the playoffs, so that means they have the chance of the Super Bowl still, and you don't know. I could choose them to win the Super Bowl. How do you know? And then the Giants here, 7-9. I would say massive improvement for them. I'd say this is pretty good. For their second year with Daniel Jones and a few things. I'd say that's actually a success. And then the Washington Redskins, the Washington football team. Yes, the Washington football team. We are the football team. Let's go football team. I feel bad for that, but that's how it works. Either way, they are actually going to get 5-11. That's actually going to be the worst in the conference. Okay. See, this is where I have my difficulties because I don't pay attention to things, and so because of that, I don't make the right colors. So the Bears actually have the worst in the conference. Sorry about that. You guys have the worst name though because it's just football team. That's like boring. Either way, in the NFC South, Saints do win that division, even though the Buccaneers have Brady, Gronk, Leonard Fournette, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, all these offensive players right now, and Shaquille Barrett on the defensive side. They do tie with the Saints in record, but they unfortunately get the tiebreaker. Panthers do pretty well, 8-8, and the Falcons 6-10, unfortunately round out the division at the bottom. Seahawks, I did not expect this. I did not look at it. I finished my predictions, and then because I did not look at the standings while doing this, and I see everything looks normal to me, like everything seems realistic, and then I see the Seahawks at 13-3, I'm like, what? I don't know how I chose them to be like that. I completely remember I chose the 49ers to sweep them, or something like that, I can't remember. But they actually get the best record in the NFC because of that. Not best in the whole league, though, second behind the Chiefs. And the 49ers start going 12-4. They have to, unfortunately, be a wild card. And then the Rams, kind of unfortunate for them to go 8-8, and then the Cardinals go 6-10. So that's what I have for the divisions. Obviously, I'm just putting this here because I might revisit my predictions one day, so it's nice to have it here. So now, what I am going to do is I'm going to scroll down a bit. Dun, 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 dun. And now you can see the playoffs. Unfortunately, the bottom of the screen is still whited out because there's a few other stuff after the playoffs. But this is what we have. In that AFC, we have the Colts at Texans, Raiders at Ravens, Patriots at Bills, Cowboys at Packers, Buccaneers at Eagles, 49ers at Saints. Obviously, what will happen is then the lowest seed that moves on will play the Chiefs in the AFC and the Seahawks in the NFC, and then the other two seeds will play reigning ones in the AFC and NFC, with the higher seed having the home advantage. Now, basically what I'm going to do for these is whichever team I pick to move on, I'm just going to bold them, and simple as that, and then every round I'll edit it and, put the new teams in. So start with the AFC, that's what I always do. They're on the left-hand side. I prefer the NFC, that's my favorite conference, because, Packers are in it, and just other things. Let's go. First one, it is going to be, a divisional matchup here. First of actually a multiple here, divisional matchup. Got the number 7 Colts, which I guess they can make the playoffs, especially with that 7. They're like always that average team of the AFC, sometimes a little bit better, sometimes a little bit worse, ever since Andrew Luck left. And the Texans, yes, they are a very good team, and Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins they don't have, but I think Deshaun Watson, Lamar Miller, and just I think that whole team, JJ Watt and things like that will be too much for the Colts team, but I do think the Texans will move on to the next round. Now, Raiders at Ravens. Ravens, unfortunately, they got first seed last season, and they had the MVP, but I think they wanted to win the Super Bowl more than anything. That's probably the most important thing. Unfortunately, they kind of crashed out on it to the Titans, but look, the Titans don't even make the playoffs here, which I think is kind of interesting how I chose it that way. I mean, they almost made it. The Colts just kicked them out. but no Derrick Henry for you to realize. Instead, you have to face this Raiders team who has players like Henry Ruggs III coming out, who could be a big player. Hint for later in the video. Josh Jacobs, and you have a few other players here and there that can all help out and chip in. So I think the Ravens will be too strong. Lamar Jackson's going to be hungry for more, so I think they'll take that. Got a huge divisional game here. Patriots at Bills. Yes, about last year or 10 years ago or 5 years ago, anytime in the last decade or two, Patriots you probably think are winning this. This time it's in the Bills Stadium, no Tom Brady. Really, the Patriots have any experience here? Maybe, yes. They probably have some veteran players that have the experience playing in those playoffs. With Tom Brady, and Cam Newton has the experience. He's made it to the Super Bowl. He's never actually won it. But then we have the Bills here, Josh Allen, Devin Singletary, and a few other young players. I think Josh Allen, this could be his breakout year. He's getting better every year. I think the Bills are going to go crazy in the run game. Their defense is insane. And because of that, I think the Bills move on and all the home teams win in the AFC. Now, let's go over to the NFC. The Cowboys are taking on the Packers at Lambeau Field. Yes, the Packers are my team, and we all know how the Packers own the Cowboys. Aaron Rodgers owns the Cowboys, okay? And we own the Cowboys Stadium. Packers own AT&T Stadium when they play there. And it's not even an away game, so the Packers are winning it, okay? No bias there. I'm just being serious, okay? Buccaneers at Eagles. Buccaneers, they have lots of playoff experience, despite not being here lately, because they have Tom Brady coming in. They have Rob Gronkowski coming in. And then, they have a few other players. They also have explosive players like Leonard Fournette, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin with Gronk and Brady. Those five are going to be insane. And they have the Eagles here are not expected to become the third seed, but they did. How did they get the third seed? I have no idea. They have a Carson Wentz who's very good, but he can get injured and it's kind of annoying. They do have a Miles Sanders who has a lot of hype around him this year to be one of the best players, even running backs in the league. And then, they have talent everywhere else on the field. Fletcher Cox on the defense side. Hopefully their secondary does not get completely burnt out this year and get injured. But I do think the Buccaneers are actually going to be the first away team on this list to move on to that divisional round. Yeah, they beat the Eagles. Now, 49ers at Saints. If you told me this was the 5th and the 4th seed, if I told you this was the 5th and 4th seed, you'd probably laugh at me, but that's just how it works. The Seahawks, I chose them to win that division despite the 49ers going 12-4. And the Saints, yes, they are going to regress. It's going to be different. They have Michael Thomas. They have Kamara. They have Drew Brees, but Drew Brees is regressing even though he proves doubters wrong every year. But then they got Taysom Hill and Jared Cook and just insane players all around. Marshawn Lattimore and things like that. It's going to be a big game. 49ers, yes, they made the Super Bowl. I think the Saints have the experience, but I do truly think this is the year where Drew Brees' downfall, not downfall of completely being a terrible player, but towards the end of his career. He knows, I don't think he's going to be at the top anymore. He's still going to be very good, but Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara are not going to be able to do it all. I don't think it's going to be the same Saints team without that prime Drew Brees, and I think the 49ers will take it. And I think this is going to be with a 1 of 2 or 1 of 3 last years of Drew Brees' career. I don't think it'll be the last, though. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to update the rounds to the divisional round, and I'll see you then. Okay, so now I have the divisional round matchups on the screen. You can see, let's start with the AFC as we did first. So we have the Bills here at the Chiefs. Chiefs are the defending Super Bowl champions, but the Bills still have lots of talent, not as experienced. And this is a big one here. You would think the Chiefs, but upset alert. I think Mahomes is not going to be ready. I think the Bills will be going crazy after their win against the Patriots. They're going to have all the momentum. The Chiefs are going to have weeks off, and I think that's actually going to hurt them. And in fact, if we go back up to the standings here, I actually do think that the Chiefs will sit out their last game. So I'm pretty sure. I feel like what's going to happen is a lot of their players will not be playing the Week 17 or the wild card round because they'll be resting and things like that, and they don't have to play Week 17. And I think with that 2 weeks off and the Bills playing that last week against the Patriots, you would think the Chiefs will be more rested. The Bills will have more of that, momentum going in. And I do believe this is the biggest upset. The Buffalo Bills take down the reigning champions Kansas City Chiefs. Now, we have the Ravens taking on the Texans here. This is a big one. 2 insane quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson. Speaking of quarterbacks, I just think this will be these 4 teams right here are going to have insane quarterbacks. I mean, we already know about Lamar Jackson, Mahomes, and Watson, and I think Allen's going to have a huge year. These 4 quarterbacks right here left are just insane. Either way, can the Ravens do the same as the Bills and not cause an upset but win on the road? It's going to be a big one. Lamar Jackson, will he choke this season? And I say no. Deshaun Watson, end of the road comes here. I think this is where you're going to miss DeAndre Hopkins a lot. Games like these when you need to compete with the Ravens and things like that. And I think the Ravens move on. Both of the road teams win in the divisional round. It's going to be a Bills-Ravens conference championship. That's going to be intense. Now, moving to the divisional round here. In the NFC, we have the Buccaneers at the Seahawks, 49ers at the Packers. Seahawks, number 1 seed. Russell Wilson probably led them here by this point, or Chris Carson. Someone must have led them to this number 1 seed. They'll talk about later in the video. Buccaneers, though, come on. Brady, Gronk. They have Godwin and Evans, who are looking to play their first playoff games. Leonard Fournette, I think it'll be their first. Oh no, he played like a few years ago when the Jaguars actually did really well in the playoffs. But this experience for the Buccaneers, I think it's going to go insane. I think they know how to beat the Seahawks. Brady's done it before in the Super Bowl. Gronk's done it before in the Super Bowl. And the Seahawks may have gone 13-3 and things, but you're losing in you're losing. You're losing in the playoffs. Sorry, Seahawks. Bye-bye. Get out of here. And now you have the 49ers at Packers. Looking at this as a Packers fan, let's not remember what happened in the regular season and the conference championship last year. Because both of those games were terrible. 37-8. What? I never said anything. Okay. This is different. This year, we're in the Packers Stadium, right? Because both years last year, it was in the 49ers Stadium, okay? This year, there's probably not going to be fans. But if there are, it's just going to help us because it's in Lambeau Field. This year, Aaron Rodgers has had all this criticism, and he's gone mad, okay? He's mad because of all this criticism. He's tired of saying, oh, 49ers completely destroyed you, you're so bad. And because I think that the Packers are going to get their revenge. No Raheem Mostert. You're going to the ground. You might not even play in this game because you're too scared. Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, Rodgers all rip up this team, and they move on. And I promise you, this is not a bias alert at all. It is not. And now here we are, the conference championship. 4 teams remain, 2 in each conference. Both teams looking to go to the Super Bowl. Bills, who've had a history of losing Super Bowls. Ravens haven't really made the Super Bowl before. Buccaneers, same thing. Packers have had good history of Super Bowl. Starting with the Bills at Ravens. Lamar Jackson wants revenge. Josh Allen and this young Bill squad, Sean McDermott, wants to bring them to a Super Bowl that no one expected. The underdogs. The Ravens, yes, they're only 3rd seed. Bills are the 4th seed, right behind them. But I think Lamar Jackson, he's going to be super hungry. Marquise Brown is going to be hungry. Mark Ingram, the Ravens defense, I think they're going to go off. And because of that, I do think the Ravens will be the first team to book their spot in Super Bowl LV or 55. Now the Buccaneers are Packers. I am a Packers fan. How biased do you want me to be? Okay, I'm not being biased at all. I think everything makes sense so far. 11-5 record makes total sense. Beating the Cowboys makes total sense. When you're at home against the 49ers, okay, that makes sense. Buccaneers. Wouldn't it just make sense for me to choose them to make the Super Bowl? I'm not being biased. How am I being biased here? Tell me one reason how I'm being biased. I don't see a problem going 11-5. I don't see a problem beating the Cowboys. I don't see a problem beating the 49ers at home in a different year when we know how to beat the 49ers. Buccaneers, they have Brady. They have Gronk. And because of that, I'm going to be choosing the Green Bay Packers. Okay? No bias. No bias. Okay. It's come down to a big showdown. Lamar Jackson himself, the reigning MVP. Not this season, the year before. Aaron Rodgers, 1-time Super Bowl champ, looking for a second. This could be his last year to do it. Am I being biased? Tell me how. Just go through my time lapse. I don't know how I've been biased at all. I've said 11-5 makes total sense for a Packers team, the talent they have. Beating the Cowboys, just look at their history. That makes complete sense. Beating the 49ers tonight, that's the only thing. But we're at home, okay? We're at home. We know how to beat them. It's a whole different year, okay? And the Buccaneers, yeah, they have Brady, but Brady's not the same. Have you looked at him in the past few years? It's not the same. It's not the same, okay? This at home, I don't see a problem with this. So you guys are probably like, oh, well, you're just going to choose the Packers. And you know what? I am. I think my Super Bowl 55 winner is the Packers. And guess what? You want to know something? Last year, I obviously didn't do a video on this because I wasn't doing videos, but I chose the Packers to lose in the Divisional Round last year. I chose them to get second in their division last year. And they proved me wrong last year. They proved me wrong and went 13-3 and made it to the conference championship. So this year, I backed them. And guess what? They're not proving me wrong. They are going to prove me wrong, believe it or not. They're going to do better than 11-5, and they're going to win the Super Bowl. Packers, there it is. Okay. You're probably like, oh my gosh, can you just please stop this nonsense? Why are you choosing the Packers? Okay, how about this? Let's not be biased. I don't know how biased this 49ers pick is. Let's just say that I never chose, okay? Let's just say that I never chose the 49ers to win, okay? Let's just say that. Or sorry, the Packers to win. Let's just say I never chose them to win. I would have then chose the 49ers to make the Super Bowl. So the 49ers-Ravens, a rematch of the power outage, okay? So this is how the Super Bowl would look then. And I would have had none other and then Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Okay? Do you want me to do it that way? If you don't want, okay, that was my kind of not really biased opinion. You guys probably think it's biased, but it's not. If you want me to be unbiased, this is my prediction right here. Ravens 49ers Super Bowl. Just like that. Boom, bomb, bing, boom. Okay? Just like that. Okay? Make sense? Yeah. Here we go. On to the next part now. We're scrolling down, and we got some awards to give out. Who do I think is going to win some awards this year? Well, starting in the NFL, we have the MVP himself, leading them to the #1 seed. Unfortunately, not leading them anywhere in the playoffs, as you can see in my predictions, but the playoffs do not matter when it comes to the MVP. And that is why none other than the man, Russell Wilson, is taking home the MVP. Christian McCaffrey had an insane year in fantasy last year. I took him 3rd overall. He was insane. He was like a 1st overall, but like 100 points better than the 2nd overall. That guy's insane. He might regress a bit, but he's getting another 1,000 season. He's getting another 1,000 season. Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. He's not stopping, okay? His team might not do super well, but he's not stopping. Rookie of the Year, Henry Ruggs III. Okay? If we scroll right up here, the Raiders, they made the playoffs, 6th seed. And guess what? You know what helped them? Henry Ruggs III. I truly believe he's going to be a beast this year. Coach of the Year, Sean McDermott. Come on, if you really look at what happens in this scenario, what team do you think surprises you the most? The Bills, making that far? Sean McDermott deserves it. He's an insane coach. He's really put this Bills team together once again. Now, for the Packers, let's quickly skip the MVP real fast. Offensive Player of the Year, Devontae Adams. 997 yards last year. Would have easily got 1,000 if he didn't get hurt. He would have got like 1,200, 300 if he didn't get hurt. He's going off for over 1,000 yards this year, over 10 touchdowns, just like that. Defensive Player of the Year, one of the best rising center backs, I'm used to soccer. Cornerback, Jair Alexander. Young, strong, fast, he knows what he's doing. Rookie of the Year, not Jordan Love, okay? Nothing about Jordan Love. A.J. Dillon. I think he's going to be an amazing backup. I think he's going to take over Jamal Williams' role, anyone else's role. He's going to be an amazing backup behind Aaron Jones. I really don't see any other rookie that's going to prove themselves, okay? Comeback Player of the Year, Aaron Rodgers. Last year, oh my gosh, he had a terrible season. It's incredible how bad he's been. He's been playing so bad, I think he's going to leave the Packers. He should go to the Bears. La, 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 la. He comes back, proves doubters wrong, because that's what he does best. Comes back, gets the MVP for the Packers. Maybe gets his way into the MVP conversation, but I give that to Russell Wilson. That's going to be it, okay? That is going to be it for my NFL predictions this year. You saw my bias prediction. That wasn't biased, though. I seriously genuinely think the Packers have a legitimate chance. Like, last year, I did not think this as much as I did this year. Last year, I was like, the Packers have a chance to make the Divisional Round. That was the furthest I could think they make it. And making the Super Bowl was out of the question last year. With a new head coach, Aaron Rodgers was even in more question last year. I just think they had no chance. This year, I think they have a chance. But, I mean, you saw what I did. I thought I chose the Packers. But let's just go with the 49ers, unbiased, so you guys don't get mad, okay? So you guys don't get mad. That's what I'm going to do. 49ers lose the Super Bowl to the Ravens. The Ravens will end up winning once again against the 49ers in the past decade. But that's going to be it. My NFL predictions for you. I hope you guys enjoyed. In just a couple of days after this, my Premier League predictions are going to come out. Subscribe if you like the content. Like the video if you like it, because that is what it's for. I'll take away this color source for you so you can see the whole entire screen. But either way, bye-bye.